I'm here with an entertaining story from Planet Comicon. This one is for the Twilight fans. So, as you guys know, Planet Comicon KC had Twilight stars this year, including the actors who played Jasper, Emmett, Alice, and Carlisle. And Irina, but she's a snitch. So, anyways, I was an exhibitor at Planet Comicon this year, and I really, really wanted to meet them, especially Jackson, who plays Jasper, because Jasper was my favorite. I was originally Team Jacob until I started getting into Twilight fan fiction, and then I went off the beaten path, and now I'm Team Jasper all the way. Jasper is a babe. Jackson is a babe. I've heard from many, many people that Jackson Rathbone is the sweetest guy, and I was wanting to meet him so badly. Well, I was at my booth all weekend, so I did not have the time to go meet any of the celebrities. I didn't get much time to shop. Luckily, my husband was there, and he let me kind of walk around a couple times, but I definitely did not have time to meet any of the celebrities, and I was really bummed out about that. So on Sunday, day 3 of Comic-Con, the last day of Comic-Con, my boys were up there to meet one of the anime voice actors. And at the very, very end of the day, when we were all like tearing our booths down and getting ready to pack up and go home for the weekend, my husband calls me out of nowhere, and I'm, just minding my own business, packing stuff up, and he just says, "You need to get down here immediately." And I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm at the Twilight People area at Celebrity Run." So, me being a mom, I'm like, oh crap, there's something wrong with one of my kids. So I sprinted the length, like half the length of Bartle Hall from my booth down to the Celebrity Row area. And my husband points out Jackson at his booth. And he's like, he's just sitting there talking to the crew. Why don't you see if you can go up there and just chit chat with him? So I had very low expectations, right? It's the end of not only the day, but it's the end of the whole weekend. Everybody's exhausted. Everybody's hot and tired and ready to go home. So I kind of just casually go up to him, and I was like, "Hey," and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "I just wanted to stop by. I've been at my booth all weekend, so I haven't had a chance to come over here at all, but I just wanted to stop by and thank you for coming to Kansas City and how much I love you in the Twilight movies. And thank you so much for being a part of a franchise that was so important to so many people, including myself." And he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." He was like, what's your booth number? What were you here doing?" And I was like, my booth number? I can't remember my own name right now. My booth number is 2140, and I'm a local author, so I was here selling my books and my character art. And he was like, "Oh, awesome, right on." And I was like, "Yeah, I was actually a part of the Twilight fan fiction panel on Saturday. So we talked about the different Twilight fanfics." And he was like, "Oh, did you talk about the dirty ones?" And I was like, "Oh, we talked about everything." So then I proceed to tell him that the first book of my dark fantasy series started off as Twilight fanfic, and the main male character in that book is based off of Jasper. And he asked me if he was from Texas like he was. And I said, "No, he's actually from hell." And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm from that part of Texas." And I was like, "Right, it's the same thing." And it just was crazy, to just casually chit chat with Jackson, he's just another person, which he is, but, teenage me would have just died getting to talk to him. So, yeah, I got to talk to him about the panel that we did. And he was like, "That's so cool." He's like, "Do you want a picture?" So, my broke ass is like, I don't have my card on me. I don't have any cash on me. And he was like, "Oh, no, just to have, just cuz." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Absolutely." So he signs a picture of Jasper, says my name to Vanessa, much love, signs it, and it says Battle Scars on it. And we all know Battle Scars. His iconic saying from the franchise, and it's one of the movie quotes that my husband and I jokingly say to each other all the time. So I was at this point, on the verge of hyperventilating, shaking, sweaty from running. And he was like, you want to get some pictures together? And I was like, sure. My hands are shaking so bad. I was like, I can't take a picture, but like my husband needs to. My husband at this point has like walked away because he was going to see if any other celebrities were still there just hanging out. And he was like, well, where is he? And I was like, it's him all the way over there. And Jackson goes, oh, well, fuck him. And immediately was like, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm sure he's a really great guy. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that was like unhinged. I didn't mean to say that. And I started laughing. I was like, no, it's fine. And so we waved my husband down, and I'm like, get over here and take a picture. And so he runs over and takes pictures of me with Jackson. And then he takes some selfies with me and my husband, and we did some smiling faces and we did some goofball faces. And he was like, okay, now do the Jasper face. And I was like, are we doing like the looking up one or the bug-eyed one? And so we did a couple of those, but my poor husband didn't know what to do because he's not a ratty like myself. But I just want to tell everybody that Jackson Rathbone is just as sweet as everybody always says that he is. And it was just such an amazing experience. And like, once we got to the car and got everything packed up, I called my mom to like tell her, and I started bawling my eyes out because what a once in a lifetime experience. Like, what is my life? I am just so freaking grateful. Like, I can't believe it. But I just wanted to share that. I'm going to be sharing other stories. Most of them from day 3. Day 3 had like the craziest stuff happen. So more to come about Comic-Con.